the most important teaching in Buddhism is what they call is Four Noble Truths. And for many who is a newcomer in Buddhism, they might find that it is a very pessimistic teaching because we started with the whole idea of everything is dukkha. And again, I have to say that dukkha doesn't mean that it is a suffering. Generally, we translate as suffering. It is a dukkha means that something which is not satisfied or not stable or not stay as it always be like that. Because even our body, our minds are always changing. If they stop changing, it means that we die. So the whole idea of the Buddha's way of looking at the thing is that everything is in an instant moving. So once it's instant moving, it's unsustainable. So that is a whole problem. It is everything is not stable and unstable. So that's become a problem because a lot of things when we love it, when we like it, we want to stop that. We want to just leave it like that. You don't want to change that. If you are very young and you want to be young all the time. If you have fun in kids, you want to be a kid all the time. So there's no way. You got a nice phone, then you want to have like that all the time. But just in the end of the year, there's a new phone come out, and then you become suffer because because there's no things. Things are going on like that. So that is whole idea. Buddha said that everything is always changing. That is the whole idea of dukkha. And when you're dukkha, then we are not satisfied with what we got it. We're not satisfied with what we are having, and not satisfied with what is going on around us because we want to like this, we want to fix like that. We want this girl, we want that boy, but no, maybe they don't want you back, they don't love you back. Then there's always things is happening. So when you happen like that, then Buddha says that you have to accept it as a natural truth. But generally, the problem is that we never realize that is our truth. We are always trying to blame, because I'm not good and I'm not good enough for her, or she's not good enough for me, or whatever. You will go and excuse and trying to find all excuses around. Mostly we are trying to get that excuses outside of you. So that is problem, his problem, that problem, because of economy, because of politics, because of this and that. So that is a whole idea of the accepting the truth. Once you accept the truth, once you are able to accept that means that you are opening to the Buddha's mind. You are opening to the whole teaching of the Buddha. Once you accept that, it means that, okay, you are ready now. Then Buddha asks you that, okay, if you are ready that there is a problem, so don't blame it. Try to look at the source of the problem. Why it makes you kind of a dukkha, why it makes you unsatisfied. You are not satisfied because the quality of that object, quality of that man, so to go and search it. What happened? And so once you are able to search the cause of the problem, it means that you will understand that you are able to fix that problem. That is a third noble truth. And then once you are able to fix that problem, then Buddha goes on and says that, okay, there is a Eightfold Noble Path, which means that it is not eight path, but it's eightfold. It is 8 in 1. So it's an Eightfold Noble Path, which will be the how to solve the problem. It is a tools. So it is a tools to get around and solve all the problems. So in that Eightfold Noble Paths, it divided in the kind of 3 categories. Okay, it divided in 3 categories. One is that a social aspect, and another one is your mental aspect, and another one is your intellectual aspect. So these are the 3 aspects of this Eightfold Noble Path. And when we say that it is started with a right view, but I don't want to call it right or wrong, because when you say the right view, then immediately it's become adjective and it's become subjective. Who's right in then? But in Pali it's called samma. Samma in Pali, if you go to literally, I think it makes more sense. Because in samma means that it means a sama root, which means it is a extinguishing, or it is a calming. So extinguishing what? Extinguishing the view which will really increase the level of your greed, hatred, and aversion. So all this mental defilement, this mental defilement, it can calm down, it can pacify. Means that is any view which can pacify your greed, any view which can pacify your anger, hatred, and which anything which can pacify your ignorance. So that is called right view. So same thing as a right view, right thought, right action, right speech, right livelihood, right recollections, right mindfulness, and right effort, and lastly will be the right Samādhi, is a right meditation. So all those things is divided as one is socially. Social means that is a Sīla. Sīla generally we translate as a precept, but again, I don't like this word as a precept because it's a more European kind of way of thinking that is a 1, 2, 3, 4. But the word Sīla in Pali, it just means that to be normalizing yourself. So what is a normal human being? So a normal human being, we try to survive with a harmony with so many things. Because from our birth, we don't know how to kill. From our birth, we don't have a hatred. When we are born, do you know that do you hate your father and mother? Or do you hate someone who sees you? No. And when we are born very pure. We don't have this greed. And we never ask from our birth that I need that. I don't want to drink, I don't want to suck my mother's milk. I want to have a cow milk. We don't know. We don't have this greed. We don't have this hatred. We don't have this aversion in a way that we are very pure, that we don't know what is right or what is wrong yet, and we never took the wrong leading as well, the wrong concept as well. So we are so pure at that birth. And when that is a true humanity at that sense, and we develop the whole idea of building that up by having our life to be less greed, less hatred, and more friendly, and then of course being always learning. So in that sense, the things like a right livelihood, right speech, and then the right actions, it's a part of the part which is called this social part. It's called Sīla. And Sīla is, in Buddhism, is become a part of a 3 trainings. It is a kind of a way we have to train as a human. And the second part is that the Samādhi. Samādhi is more kind of a right effort, right mindfulness, and right meditation or right concentration. So that will be the kind of your individual development. It's called a mental development. And then it means that yourself and the society is there. So you have to learn about society, you have to learn about yourself, that how you deal with yourself and the society. Then you need to have this intellectual order called wisdom and the Paññā, which is about the Samādhi, right view, and Samma Sankappa, right thought, is two rest of that. So this Eightfold Path, it doesn't mean that you go in the 8 directions. But if you have for example, if you have a right view or kind of a pacifying view, pacifying all this the mental defilement view. It means that in that view, you need to have the right thought, you need to have right speech, you need to have right actions, you need to have a right concentration, you need to have a right mindfulness, everything embedded in that. Only then you will call the right, the path. Then once you path, so you can easily understand that it is about how. How to means that how do you place yourself amidst society? How you place yourself in terms of developing your self-development, and then also how do you bring that your society and yourself to work together and then make it kind of a one thing which we can grow together with your understanding is we call wisdom. So that is all about how you deal with the things in this world. So this Eightfold Noble Path can look at in very various ways. And one way to look at it is that you can just look at this 8 into the 2 different groups as well. For example, you can see that there is if you divide the 2 group, it will become a physical and mental. For example, the right thought or right view, then the things you speak become a right speech or right actions. So it is you can divide it as 4 of them is a action part, the physical part, and the 4 of them is a mental part, the resource parts. So you can have this 2 again. Or you can see even at a more scientific way, is a static and dynamic. So the four static is about inner, which will give that power. And there's all other four actions will be, which is performance, which is you perform through your body, through your mind, through your mouth, and all those through your actions. So these Eightfold Noble Path is something I would say that a holistic approach the Buddha gave to solve whatever problem you got in this world. So you can use this theory of Eightfold Noble Path in economic, in society, in politics, in education, in marriage life, in crisis, whatever it is, in the bioethics. Basically, it is the one word we can use. It's a middle path. It is a theory of equilibrium. It is a theory of upholding the dharma. So this, how do you, when your dharma means that, how do you uphold that? So that is in order to uphold, you have to be middle path. But when you say the middle path, sometimes you are so literary, you have to be middle. Left and right, you have to be middle. But the middle path, from a Buddha's point of view, it is not about the middle in a sense of a geographical or the kind of the picture's way of middle. Middle in the Majjhima, in the Majjhima is oriented to the direct pointed. So it means that if you can solve that problem directly with that problem, that is a solving and a problem-solving path. So that is what he calls middle path. So that's what I have been telling, and I have been thinking that the UN have to, if the UN is clever enough, they have to come back and look at this, because sustainable development is going to end by 2030. And then what is their global agenda? I don't know. But I'm proposing that their global agenda should be based on the theory of equilibrium, based on the theory of this middle path. If they don't want to use Buddhist word, you can use any other word. But the whole idea is that how do we balance our mind and physical body, material and mental, the spiritual part. So if we can uphold this, we can balance this, and that is, I think, the proper human words should be.